Pope Francis issues a public correction to the prefect of the Congregation for Divine Worship. The Vatican released the letter on Sunday to Cardinal Sarah. It corrects several points made in a commentary in a French publication over the rules of the liturgy. Edward Pentin, Rome correspondent for EWTN's National Catholic Register, joins us. Ed, it is quite unprecedented for the Pope to write a letter like this to one of his cardinals. How did this come about?
Well, it goes back, Lauren, to the Pope's motu proprio papal decree, which he issued last month, called Magnum Principium, in which he authorized the translations of liturgical texts from the Latin to be given, for bishops' conferences, to be given more authority to do that. Up until now, it's been the Vatican that's had the ultimate authority over these translations, and the Pope was given more power to the bishops' conferences. Cardinal Sarah, who's head of the liturgical congregation, wrote an article at the beginning of the month trying to clarify what the Pope meant by this, how much authority the Vatican has and how much bishops' conferences have. And that led to the Pope issuing another letter correcting Cardinal Sarah for his interpretation of the papal decree.
What are the main concerns of the Pope and the Cardinal?
Well, for the Pope, he's trying to decentralize the governance, if you like, of liturgical translations by giving it to bishops' conferences. That's all part of Pope Francis's general approach, is to decentralize, take things away from the Vatican and give them to the bishops. But Cardinal Sarah believes that authority should be kept with the Vatican because Latin is seen as very much a language of unity, and he wants to keep those translations as being as faithful to the Latin as possible.
How do you see this playing out? You've covered the Vatican for a very long time. Will Cardinal Sarah be able to stay in his position given this clear disagreement between him and the Pope over the liturgy?
Well, it's difficult. It's a difficult relationship because they do have different visions. I think it's becoming quite clear that that's the case. And if you have a Pope whose department of liturgy is headed by someone who has a very different vision, it's not easy for him to continue. So we're going to have to see just how they work this out, whether Cardinal Sarah remains in post or whether he chooses to resign, or perhaps the Holy Father tries to find a replacement.
Edward Pentin, Rome correspondent for EWTN's National Catholic Register. Thank you for joining us, Ed.
Thanks, Lauren.